Great poet Homer, I come from a distant place, a different age, in a distant future.
Then either you are mad, favored by Apollo, or a messenger of Hermes. Sit, speak.
Your poem, the Odyssey, is still known nearly 3,000 years from now.
3,000 years?
Yes, it is sung across the world.
Then the muse was kinder to me than I deserved.
A famous storyteller from our age is making a new version of the Odyssey.
Another Oidos, then.
Something like that, but instead of lyres and banquet halls, he uses giant moving images upon glowing walls.
You have trapped shadows and stories inside walls?
In a way, yes.
Hephaestus has become ambitious in your age.
People argue endlessly about how your characters should look, speak, and behave.
Good. That means the song still lives.
Some say adaptations should remain exactly faithful to your version.
Exactly faithful? Even I was not exactly faithful to myself. Every singer changes the song.
So you would not object to reinterpretations?
I would object only to boredom.
What if Odysseus is darker, older, younger, harsher, gentler?
Does he still long for home? Does he still stand before the sea and refuse to surrender?
Yes.
Then the man still lives.
And what about changes to characters like Helen or Demodocus?
What changes?
Changes people in my time argue fiercely about.
Men argued fiercely in my time about wine, goats, and who lied more bravely in battle. Humanity changes little.
What if I told you one version portrays Helen of Troy as a black queen from Africa?
A queen from Africa? Which muse sang this version first?
You would disagree?
I would say it is not the Helen my song imagined.
So you would accept it?
Accept? Reject? I do not command stories. I pursue them.
Then what would matter to you?
Does she still possess the beauty that terrifies kingdoms? Does her presence still pull men toward glory and ruin?
Yes.
Then perhaps another muse has merely dressed Helen differently.
Would you want your story preserved exactly as you told it?
It is not really my story.
Then what matters most?
Whether the audience still falls silent when the poem begins.
And what would you say to the storyteller from our age?
I would ask him two things. Did your version make people weep? And do you think they will remember it in 3,000 years?
By the way, a scholar who translated your poem into a foreign language refers to Odysseus as complicated.
It would seem that scholar confused the meaning of words polyplokos and polytropos. Was that scholar a woman by any chance?
Yes.
Now I understand. For women shape speech in ways unlike men, and the muses who breathe song into my breast are all daughters, not sons. And oftentimes I myself am hard-pressed by their cunning words.
Master Homer, tell me truthfully, which parts of the Odyssey were meant as literal memory, and which parts were poetic truth?
You ask a question even the muses smile at. You speak as though memory and poetry are enemies, but often poetry is the vessel through which memory survives.
Then Troy truly existed?
Yes, a great city stood there once. Kings gathered against it. Ships crossed the sea. Bronze flashed beneath the sun. Men burned cities and died far from home. The grief of widows was real. The ashes were real. Enough happened that men remembered.
But what of the Cyclops, the Sirens, Scylla and Charybdis? Were those real?
Tell me first, what is real? Is a storm less real because sailors give it a face? When men sail beyond familiar shores, fear itself becomes monstrous. Lonely cliffs become giants. Deadly currents become devouring mouths. Temptation becomes singing upon the wind.
So the monsters were symbolic.
Not merely symbolic. A poet does not lie, nor speak plainly. The Cyclops was terror, the fear of a place without law, without hospitality, without pity. The Sirens were desire itself, the hunger to know what mortals were never meant to know. Scylla and Charybdis. Every sailor learns that sometimes the sea offers no perfect path, only the choice between two disasters.
And Calypso? Did she truly exist?
Perhaps somewhere, once, a sailor remained too long upon a beautiful island. Perhaps a lonely queen or priestess loved him. Perhaps nothing happened exactly so. Yet every wandering soul eventually meets a Calypso. A place of forgetting. A place where pain disappears. A place where one is tempted to abandon destiny. That is why men remember her.
Then Ithaca was symbolic too?
Ithaca was an island, but it was also every home ever longed for in darkness. A man rose toward many shores in life, yet in his heart he seeks only one.
So, what in the Odyssey truly happened?
Enough happened that memory endured. Enough was transformed that memory became wisdom. Literal truth tells what happened once. Poetic truth tells what happens forever.
Then which truth matters more?
The kind that still lives after the names of kings are forgotten. For cities fall, walls crumble, even poets die. But longing, wandering, love, grief, nostos, the ache for home, those remain. And so the song remains also.
In my time, men possessed ships like those of the Phaeacians, ships that guide themselves, ships that cross vast seas through darkness and storm, ships that know their course without human hands.
Then perhaps the old songs were not foolish after all.
In my time, ships follow invisible paths across the sea, guided by stars no sailor can see.
Invisible stars? I would have called that the work of Athena. And perhaps men of your time merely give different names to miracles?
To us, it looks like the Phaeacian ships were prophecy.
No, not prophecy. Longing. Remember this. Before men create a thing, they first dream it. The singer imagines. The craftsman listens. Generations pass, then imagination hardens into wood, bronze, and eventually wonders greater still.
So you imagined technology that did not yet exist.
Perhaps. Or perhaps sailors already possessed skills so astonishing that ordinary men transformed them into legend. When a shipmaster crosses black waters through fog and arrives unerringly at a hidden harbor, what should a frightened passenger call him?
In my time, ships can even move and steer without pilots.
Without pilots? Then Poseidon himself has become imprisoned inside the hull.
And they travel faster than any trireme could dream.
Every age believes its horizons are final. yet the sea always humbles certainty. Listen carefully, son. In my story, the Phaeacian ships represented mankind's oldest desire, to cross danger safely, to find the way home through darkness, to master the unknown sea. If men of your age truly built such vessels, then they fulfilled many of mankind's oldest desires.
Would that frighten you?
No. What would frighten me is if men learned to cross every sea, yet forgot why they voyage at all. Tell me, traveler, do men of your age still sing?
Yes, though not always with lyres.
And do they still remember the deeds of those who came before them?
Some remember, many forget quickly.
Then your age is not so different from mine. Tell me this, have men finally conquered the sea?
We cross oceans in days. Some fly above the clouds.
Fly, like Daedalus dreamed. And yet I wonder, does the sea still frighten you?
Yes.
Good. A world in which men no longer fear the sea would be a world already cursed by arrogance. And what of kings? Do wise men rule your cities now?
Not always.
Then Zeus still enjoys irony. Tell me, have men become kinder with all this knowledge?
Sometimes. Sometimes not.
So wisdom still runs behind power, as a limping servant follows his master on a racing horse. And the poets? What place do poets hold in your age?
Some are famous across the whole world. Others are ignored.
That too has not changed. Do lovers still grieve? Do fathers still fear for sons? Do wanderers still find hospitality far from home?
Yes, very much so.
Then the human heart has survived. That is enough.
Would you wish to see our time? Your future?
A poet should face only one direction, toward the souls of men before him. Besides, if your world still knows longing, love, war, beauty, and grief, then I already know it.
And you would not want to see it?
Do not mistake caution for lack of wonder. Of course I would wish to see it. What mortal would not desire to glimpse the distant shore toward which time itself sails?
Then you would come with me?
Perhaps.
You would see wonders beyond imagination. Cities of glass, ships that cross the sky, voices traveling across oceans instantly, men walking upon the moon.
Upon the moon? So even Selene no longer belongs only to the gods. Tell me, when men reached the heavens, did they finally cease warring with one another?
No.
Then Achilles still walks among you.
Would our world disappoint you?
How could the world of living men disappoint me? Every age carries both beauty and madness. I would wish to see whether children still laugh beside the sea, whether lovers still sing at night, whether old men still tell stories beside the fire. These things matter more than machines.
And if you saw how vast our world became?
I think I would grieve a little,
Grieve?
because every widening horizon reminds men how small they are. And yet, Perhaps that is good.
Would you wish to stay in our time?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because a poet belongs to the age whose sorrows he understands. I could marvel at your world, but I would not know its heartbeat. Its griefs may not be the griefs I learned beside the wine-dark sea.
Then what would matter most to you about our age?
Do men still hunger for meaning? Do they still long for home? Do they still fear death, yet love life enough to sing despite it?
Yes.
Then your age may not be truly foreign to me after all.
Please come. I can promise you this. We could stand upon this very shore, this same island where we stand now, and it would still be beautiful. The sea would still shine at sunset. The waves would still sing against the rocks. The stars would still rise above the dark waters. And your song survived too. People across the entire earth still speak your name.
My name matters little. Tell me instead, do they still feel the sorrow of Hector, the longing of Odysseus, the loneliness of Calypso?
Yes, that is why they remember you.
Then the songs truly lived.
So, will you come?
Perhaps for one evening only. I would wish to stand beside your sea at dusk and listen. If the waves still sound the same, then I shall know that beneath all the wonders and terrors of your age, mankind is still sailing the same eternal voyage.
Let us go! Io Manivi!